Welcome to the Nuff Said podcast. Tonight we're talking 2 episodes, mainly because of Lil. We'll blame him. Actually, let's blame Jack. He's not here. Season 3, episode 19 and Season 3, episode 20 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Failed Experiments and Emancipation. We're your hosts. I'm Rob Southgate.
And I'm Lil Knitza.
And I'm Jack Wodgrowski.
Let me get a Frosty.
No Jack tonight.
I need a Frosty.
So, Jack, okay, at the end of the last episode, I think it was after we had already closed out, he tells us, oh, by the way, I'm going on a cruise. I'm going to be playing on a cruise all summer starting in like 2 weeks. And I don't know about you, Lil, but my math wasn't so good. I didn't realize it was going to be gone this fast.
Well, I mean, he is trying to relive the amazing Cuba Gooding Jr. comedy Boat Trip. And, you know, with his math, 2 weeks is 1 week, and that's why he's gone.
There you go.
That's how I figured it. Well,
now,
we didn't really record last week, so I guess
I was thinking it was that other one, that Lost at Sea, the one with, I think that's the name of it, with Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau.
No. Boat Trip. We're going with Boat Trip. Okay. Cuba Gooding Jr., and I believe it was Horatio Sands, I think.
Yes.
I don't know. Yes.
Yes, the amazing Horatio Sands. Been in every great movie.
Well, that's why Jack's perfect.
So Jack actually, he left. We fell behind. I've been sick. I've been doing this, we'll call it proctoring. Oh, no, that's what it is. It's proctoring. And
need a rubber glove?
Yes. And it has set me back a little bit. So, yeah. I actually think this is mostly my fault that we're late, but it worked out because I think these two go together really well. I think this is a perfect fit, and it'll lead us into the finale just right. And I'm just sorry we don't have Jack for these two because he's fun.
Really fun? I mean, I get it, but
I get
fun?
it. He's something. So, but Jack, actually, I don't know. Did he send you the video?
Which video? I mean, quite a few. There was one with, an Agent Carter outfit.
No, nothing weird. He took it on himself to make a video, and I think he's planning on doing this because he's in like Italy and he's all over the place with this band and on this cruise. And when he gets into ports and that, he's going to send us like update videos. So he just sent a little thing. It's great. It's specific for Nuff Said, and I think he's going to continue to do it throughout the summer. So I will start putting that on our YouTube channel, and we'll kind of send that out there. So if you're not watching our YouTube stuff, you want to get on there to get the Jack at Sea updates. That didn't sound good. So
not at all. Not at all. That's okay.
So let's jump into this. We got news too, but we don't want to do that to start off with. We want to talk about these episodes. Failed Experiments, Emancipation. What did you think? Let's consider it like one big episode.
All right. Well, so Failed Experiments. I mean, it's hard for me to consider one episode, even though you're right. It ties directly. I mean, it's basically back to back. But Failed Experiments really actually upset me, that episode.
Okay.
And why I say that is, and we're going to jump around here. We got a lot to talk about, so I'm going to go beat by beat. But it was Mac versus Daisy, and that really, like, it was almost to the point that I was considering that she had turned so far that almost irredeemable.
Oh, really? Irredeemable? Wow.
Yeah, like she was almost to ward level status that she can't come back. I almost thought she was going to kill Mac. She's blasting tremors at his heart that she's trying to kill him.
You know what? I thought the same thing, and like you said, it was actually pretty upsetting. Like when that scene was happening, they keep teasing somebody's going to die and everything, and we were saying, I think last time we were on, it better not be Mac because that would be ridiculous. And here we're watching this scene play out, and I thought, is she going to damage his heart so much that he ends up dying by the end of the season?
Yeah, that he takes it upon himself because he knows he's not going to survive to fly the ship, and that's something like that. And I just wasn't happy with it. I understand she was under Hive's control. I get it. We understand. But the thing is our heroes are supposed to be able to fight that, be a little bit better than that. And like at this point, like with her going this crazy and wanting to turn everybody into an Inhuman, I was just because for a minute there, when the episode before when she had fits, I thought there
was a tiny bit of humanity that came.
You thought maybe she wasn't 100% gone. There was
also bits of dialogue where I was having a hard time with it too, especially how they were writing her, because I get it. She's under Hive's control, and when she's not being directly ordered by Hive, her memories are still in there, and it's going to cause her to, kind of gravitate towards, the people that she had relationship with before. But it was uneven. Like, I wanted her to either be completely under his control, and when she would do these things for us to feel like it was manipulation, as opposed to she's really buying into this. And that's really how they played it, was she was buying into it, even though, yes, she was under his control. And it did make it hard. Her hurting Mac was, like, not acceptable unless they had established the fact that she was truly out of control.
Well, I think at that point, that's what they were trying to do. I mean, I think that's really where they were going.
To show that she was out of control.
Yeah.
But her dialogue didn't match up to that.
I agree.
It seemed like, she's saying she's out of control, but if you just join me, everything's cool. And then when she didn't get her way, that's when she freaked. And I'm like, well, that's not, it shouldn't be her freaking. It should be her exposing the fact that, yes, I was being, I was deceiving you, and I am going to get my way. At least that's how I felt. I was having a hard time with all of that, and I was especially having a hard time with the idea of Mac dying, because, frankly, they kill off the blackmail leads on this show, and I'm like, don't do
it's
that
only been
again.
One, right?
It was one, but it was when they did that, it was like, well, and remember, they also blew up Deathstroke in the beginning.
Yeah, but he's still alive. I mean,
he's still alive.
You had to blow him up so he can become Deathstroke. I mean,
right. I get that, but
not Deathstroke, Deathlock. What are you? Deathstroke.
Deathlock.
I said it. I'm like, wait, that doesn't sound right. Yeah, well, we're not talking about DC. Welcome to the DC podcast.
So, no, believe me, it's not. But I'm telling you, they have. You can't. There isn't a blackmail lead that hasn't been turned into a monster, blown up, or killed, other than Mac. And that's why I'm like, if you do this to Mac, it's too much. And I think Mac is awesome. I really like Mac. And like, even tonight when he was injured and everything, and he was coming back, I was like, yeah, but his outlook is always the right one. Even when you go back to when he was siding with Mockingbird and they were getting taken in by that other agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., he was being true to himself. He was thinking, this is right, and I'm going to do this, and I'm not going to deceive. I'm going to do the steps that need to be taken as a member of S.H.I.E.L.D. So, he's got a lot of integrity, and I really like this character. He better not be the one that goes. Now, who was it that he got the cross, though, at the end, right?
Right, he got the cross.
And that's the thing you see is the S.H.I.E.L.D. logo on the arm and the cross floating.
Yeah, you know what, though? Fitz had it in his hand
He had it in his hand right after that, didn't he?
Yeah, in the next, scenes for next week after last episode.
So, I mean, I think it's all red herrings at this point. I really do. I mean, somebody's going to die. If somebody doesn't die, they have been outright lying to us for way too long, right?
Well, it's fallen agent, so it's going to be an agent. That's
got to be an agent. And the only one, once again, I know they're not going to kill Coulson, but I think Coulson is the gutsiest choice. I think it's May. And another reason, another clue I have to that, now, I've been a May fan from the beginning. I think she's a great actress. I think she's awesome to watch on here, and she kicks butt. Tonight's episode, I watched both episodes back to back tonight. Yeah,
the fact that they killed Lash.
Yeah, they killed Lash. Her story arc's over. And her acting in these, it was stilted. Like, I'm watching it going, where's
But maybe
it's
supposed to be because she is kind of broken at this point.
No, it was more than that. And I kind of feel like she might be a short timer. I'm surprised to say that because I think she's a pro, but she might be a short timer. She's got the short shrift all season, and if they kill her, it would be very, very disappointing to her, I have a feeling. And I think that would be one of those that at this point she's just like, okay, I'm going to walk through these scenes and do my thing, but I'm moving on.
Yeah, I guess. But I mean, I guess let's talk about this episode. So Ward, or Hive's master plan, is he wants to create Inhumans out of regular humans, not ones that are chosen. So they need Kree blood. In the prior episode, he sets off his little beacon thing to get the Kree down there. They try to kill off the Kree so they can get the blood from them. Bam, S.H.I.E.L.D. stops them. That's the Mac situation. Then they find out at the end, then Daisy says, well, I have Kree blood in me, drain me. And this is where she's gone off the rails.
Right.
So the next episode is, you see her all, being drained of blood, and they're ready to do an experiment, and they kidnap what 5 or 6 of the watchdogs.
Yeah.
And turn them into
I liked this.
I did. I thought that was kind of cool.
And I did just to set it up, I did have a problem with the first episode. I liked the second episode better, but there's a lot of stuff when we start picking it apart that I did like. I liked that the watchdogs were brought back in. I liked what they did with the watchdogs. I thought that was cool.
I agree. And the fact that they made them like mindless monsters was great.
Yeah.
Rather than just like regular guys with powers.
Yes.
So we find out that the experiment kind of works. It's not great, but it kind of works. And this whole time, Lincoln is talking to Daisy and did a great job because he sold me. I was sitting here the whole time. When that shocker happened, that was a good twist. I did not see that coming. So Lincoln is breaking out, and then during this whole thing, we have Talbot visiting the S.H.I.E.L.D. shop, I guess, because they're talking about the Accords to tie into Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
I mean, Civil War.
Was that, though?
Huh?
How wedged in was that?
Very.
I mean, I completely felt like in both episodes, they wedge it in here. They mention the Accords. In the next episode, we have it start off with Coulson, and you hear the news about it, and then nothing more is said. Even if they had made reference to it later about, Stark and Cap fighting it out, or Giant Man, or anything, I would have been like, okay, did you see the guy in tights? Or did you see the guy in underoos? Yeah. That would have been like, we would have all gone like, yes! And it would have felt like we were all in the same place. But this was totally forced.
Agreed. I mean, and that's how this show is going to be. And maybe that's why they didn't pick up the other one. I don't know. But, and we'll get into that in news. But it was wedged in. It's fine. I mean, they had to explain it somehow. And they did very, very vaguely. And they gave a little shout out to the death of Peggy Carter because, she died at 95 years old.
Yes.
But
and ironically, well, we'll get to that in news.
Yeah. And so with all this, we have Lincoln like trying to escape the base. He's doing a bunch of stuff. Daisy's kind of steering him through to get to a Quinjet so they can meet up. Daisy on her end is lying to him, saying that they're going to run away together because that's all he wants. And Hive is behind it and telling her, does he believe you? I'll meet with him. And basically, when I'm done, brainwashing him, he'll be one of us. The twist is they put Lash on the Quinjet, set it on autopilot, and Lash should have killed Hive right there.
Yeah.
He could have.
Yeah.
So mad that he didn't.
You know what? That was the worst part. It actually started out being really cool. When Lash came out, I was really taken. I thought that was really cool. When they fought, I thought it was a little,
it was hokey and
a little Vader Emperor, or Harry and Voldemort, and I was like, okay. But the fact that Lash went over and dealt with Daisy and never did anything more to Hive. It's right. Like, why wouldn't he have killed Hive? He blew a hole in him. Go finish the job. Easily could have finished the job. Instead, he saved Daisy's life and then went on the Quinjet. It's like, that was stupid. It was stupid. Yeah, that didn't make sense.
Agreed. It wasn't done right.
Even if we had seen Hive like slip away when Lash turned his attention to Daisy, because I could buy him going to Daisy just because there's still the humanity of that doctor in there. He's not completely Lash. There's still that little bit which caused him to do that. Or it could be that he's trying to save a good Inhuman, because that's really what Lash is after, are the bad Inhumans.
Yeah, well, exactly. And I did like that Lash's power was able to remove the hive out of a person.
Yes.
I thought that was great. But it wasn't enough.
It was a big lead balloon at the end there.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if Hive is going to have any residual effects from that hit by Lash. I'm really curious about that. I hope he does. I hope maybe that's the end to get him, because I don't know how they're going to kill this thing. I really don't.
And he's like a god. He's walking around. He's all powerful. And they need to. I thought they were going to kill him, and that would have been satisfying. Okay, maybe he's injured. Maybe that puts him way back. And maybe, just maybe, they're able to put this serum out there so that even if he does arise, he can't control all the Inhumans that way.
Yeah. I agree with that.
That would work. But it also takes the teeth out of this character. I do have a problem with a lot of superhero movies and shows where they take the villains and they either let them slip away or they just flat out kill them. You know, that just seems to be the easy way out. In this case, I think they should have killed him. I think this guy is too powerful.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to see. We got a 2-hour finale next week. Where did that take it? I don't know, but
yeah. I wonder, speaking of the finale, and this is going to break some of the news, if we will see a reappearance of Bobby and Hunter.
We have to at this point now. I mean, the fact that they wrote them off because of their own show, and now they're not getting their own show. So, news.
Yeah, there's the news. Part one of the news.
Most Wanted is not coming back. Is not coming back. Not even happening.
No, it went to pilot, and then they decided not to do it.
Kind of bad for Bobby. This is her second failed pilot.
Yeah, and you know what? I like her so much. Bring her back to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm okay with that. But don't use her as a way to launch another series. That was where it got muddy.
Right.
You're going to kill an agent now. That makes room. You've got room right now to have certain episodes that are about the Secret Warriors, certain episodes that are about the agents, and certain episodes where maybe you do focus on Bobby and Hunter occasionally as a side story. That would all work for me. What they did this season is they tried to wedge every story in all at the same time because they thought, hey, we're going to launch this, Marvel Most Wanted. And I bet in the back of their minds, they were getting ready to launch next year, if that had been successful, a Secret Warriors show. And I think now that's more off the table. Okay, but they got to introduce them back in. They got to have them come back. Maybe it's because of whoever dies, they come back into the fold.
Well, I don't, maybe, but I'm very curious now where Marvel TV, and I'm not talking about Netflix. I don't count that as
a
TV.
Separate animal. You've got Marvel Netflix, you've got the cinematic universe, and then you have their Marvel TV thing.
And I don't know where that's going now.
No, because they canceled 2 things.
Yeah, Agent Carter is out. And
News number 2, Agent Carter, done. Now, I said this before, and I'm still marking my words that this would work if they wanted to keep that property alive. It goes to Netflix, and they are like Netflix movies. Hell, you could do one once every 2 years or something. Just get the band back together, make a movie. You don't have to have all the goofy stuff. You can tell an Agent Carter story because people like that universe. I think it was damaged by being a TV show the way it was, but I don't think it would have worked as a theatrical release. Make it Netflix movies. They cost a lot less. You've already got the infrastructure there, and you don't have to worry about their production schedules for their other TV shows.
I mean, that is true.
I'd be down with that. And then you go back to what we had said, make it like a Peggy Carter noir with the superhero element added into it. Not even superhero, but the world that they live in that is, science and even magic could be in there,
Yeah, not yet. Not yet.
There could be a little bit that they run into not knowing what they're running into.
There could be.
Absolutely, they could run into it. But make it science and noir mainly. I think that'd be awesome. But just do movies. You don't have to stretch things out. You don't have to tell these other stories. Let's see her chasing down Dottie. in a big bad way. I'd watch that.
Yeah, but going back to Dottie, I think that's just, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
I wouldn't want that. I need to know what happened with what's his face.
Yes,
like, and that doesn't. I don't think that's going to have anything to do with Dottie at this point. I really don't. I think it's going to be something different.
If it's a movie, it doesn't have to be the first one, but we could have a movie that is her and Dottie. And it's got that whole Black Widow program. Like, we learn more about the history of the Black Widow program. That's really what this show is supposed to do, is give us insight into the history of this Marvel Cinematic Universe and those characters. We get a little Howard Stark. We get a little Jarvis. We get Captain America. We start to understand all those things. And we see the beginnings of all this science. That's where it's the strongest. So, I don't know. We might just be blowing smoke with that, but I certainly already tweeted out with a hashtag Netflix Save Carter. So let's see if anything happens.
It's disappointing. It really, after such high highs with what we got with Civil War.
Holy cow. No.
That, like, the TV groundwork just seems to be crumbling underneath itself. I mean, again, we've got an awesome Netflix lineup. I can't wait for Luke Cage.
Yeah, no, Netflix is its own entity. That's as awesome to me as the MCU. Yeah. And it's the TV version of the MCU. It's this. It's the broadcast TV stuff. There's something
and we don't even know if we're getting damage control yet. They're kind of putting the brakes on that.
Another element might be, and I hate to say this because I like him, but it might be the Whedon influence, because, it's his brother and sister-in-law, I think, that are showrunners on this.
Yes.
And they were going to be involved in Marvel's Most Wanted. He's been very negative about the TV stuff, which doesn't make sense because he was part of what launched it. It could be that they just got sour with the Marvel thing. These guys are hanging in here, but they're not the ones to be overseeing these Marvel shows. And that could be what we're getting at. That's complete speculation, but I wouldn't be surprised. Give a guy like Mark Waid a chance to write these stories. Marvel has a bullpen of writers. Get your writers to develop stories, and then take those stories, get them written by really hot script writers, put a team together like they do it with a lot of shows. There's a writer's room for Arrow. There's a writer's room. Well, that Arrow's a terrible example now, but The Flash has a writer's room, and there's people overseeing it that make it run almost like a machine. You don't have to have a singular voice, because like The Flash, you don't go, oh my gosh, it's all run by, one person. Yeah, it's the one person who's overseeing all those. They're overseeing Flash, Supergirl, and Arrow, but it's not like Breaking Bad. Vince Gilligan overseeing Breaking Bad. That's a singular voice overseeing that. Marvel doesn't necessarily need that. They just need somebody in position who can oversee these TV properties, that has a good relationship with the MCU, and that can actually get some juice going with writing in that. Disney has the money to do that. They have the stables of writers. They have camps of people. Let's do that. And I'm not saying they're doing a terrible job. It's just there's something wrong. There's like the stew doesn't have any salt in it or something.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, the good thing for Peggy is her other show got greenlit, whatever she was going to star in for ABC. But
it's not Peggy Carter, though.
I know, but I like Haley Atwell, so
yeah, so do I. I mean, it's great for her, and Adrienne Palicki is going to have no problem if they don't bring her back to S.H.I.E.L.D. She's really good. Everybody, most actors that are TV stars have stories, failed pilots, or one season here, one season there, and then boom, all of a sudden they're George Clooney,
Yeah.
So I'm not writing her off. I think she's excellent. I just hope that they're smart and if they're going to kill May now and bring her in, because she brings the action that May used to. And if she's there, it's a little tough having May as the action person. I hate to say that. I really like Ming-Na, but I'm telling you, this season they've been telling me they're getting rid of her, or they're not interested in her.
Well, I think that's what we kind of thought. I mean, we did feel that they didn't care about the character anymore. They gave her a few minutes here, a few minutes there. I
figured out what they're doing. You know how she's going to die? There's going to be some reason they have to go up in this spaceship, and she's going to sacrifice herself. That's why she goes up there. It's sacrificing herself because of Lash.
Yeah, probably.
That's totally what it's going to be. It's not going to be a mishap. Something goes wrong, because that's what they're leading you to believe. It's going to be her.
It's a
sacrificing herself,
but it's going to be somebody who can fly. Like, that's the thing. So it's going to be. So how many people can fly a plane? Like, not many on this show, because she's the one who's always piloting.
She's the pilot, and now they're not even airborne anymore. That was the big thing. They were airborne. They're not.
Nope.
So now she walks around the hallways, and then she goes out on a mission here and there. You know what? Give Ming-Na a show. You know, do something with her. This is, I think we're right. I think she's gone.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I do think that's the most likely way of this ending this season. And like we said, I mean, it's a character that came out from day one, from episode 1. There'll be some impact, and maybe good for the show to shake it up that way.
Yeah, it could be. Once again, I think that the strongest move is getting rid of Coulson. That would shake up the show, and that would change everything, but they're not going to do that. Although, man, it really stuck out that there was no Coulson in Civil War. I would assume at this point, now that Whedon's not involved, and there was reference to S.H.I.E.L.D., I would assume there would be a cameo.
No,
it seems like they're
there was no cameo.
Separating them.
There was no cameo from Nick Fury. There's no cameo from Agent Coulson here. I mean, that's it. This happened really fast. This is a UN deal. This had nothing to do with S.H.I.E.L.D. and it's private. You know, it's a private entity in S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, but they've ignored him since Avengers, and that's why I just thought there's a reference of him walking through a hallway or something.
For what though? Like, no,
to show us that they're still that they're sharing a universe. Instead, we've got him on the TV show, sitting in a bar, watching it on TV, and the whole time you're thinking, do the Avengers know he's alive? They'd have to. He's director of S.H.I.E.L.D.
They released Black Widow released all the information out. They know what happened to him.
Once again,
if they read it, I mean,
I would assume
that's the thing.
Cinematically that there'd be a reference. That's all I'm saying.
But you know what? It's not even important. That's why. It's not that important. It's not there yet.
It is to me.
Nobody cares about you.
I do. That was
Jack Puppet. Go back on your boat trip. Play your trumpet.
Hey, Cuba. Cuba Gooding Jr.
Yeah, exactly.
My impression is terrible of him.
All your impressions are terrible.
Oh, come on. Not everyone.
Everyone.
I've heard worse.
Probably.
Oh, man.
So, I mean, is there anything else to talk about? I mean, this is a short show, but I think we went through everything.
Did we get into the second episode? Did we cover the second episode?
Kind of thought we did. I mean,
not really. I mean, so Daisy came back.
We talked about Lash. We talked about, so
Daisy I did like that. I did like when they were draining her. I thought that was really cool. And that they were going to keep draining her. And she wasn't resisting. So you knew she was under control. I liked that she was getting worse and worse. Looking like, okay, she's going to be dead. I never once thought that she was the one who's going to die. So I knew that somehow this is going to be resolved. But I did like that, how when she walked in, I mean, she looked like she was hit by a car. And the way they reacted to her and the way she reacted, there's going to be some fallout from what happened. I don't know if the other agents are going to be super weird with her because they understand. They're going to understand very quickly that she was under control. But I think her guilt is going to eat her up for a while.
Mm-hmm. Especially how Mac's going to look at her, because I guarantee Mac's, you can tell he's still holding some hard feelings there.
Yeah. But you know what? Mac will hold it for a while, but I have a feeling that relationship will regrow. I was kind of hoping Lincoln would die in this one. Until the twist, I was done with Lincoln. When they did the twist, I liked him. But
yeah, I agree. The twist helped Lincoln as a character.
Helped him a lot. You know, it's weird because last season I liked the Lincoln character, and I thought this could be really cool and interesting. I didn't like that they were starting a relationship unless it was him manipulating with the relationship. Then I was like, okay, it's his assignment to get her involved, right?
Yeah.
But this season, he's just been really less interesting with each episode, although the twist helped. And I think that they're committed to doing Secret Warriors episodes. They only have 4. So I think they got to keep him and her around.
Yeah, probably.
Do you think there was anything to... there was a reference to releasing the Terrigen and turning people into Inhumans, but it was said to Mac, and he made a face. Do you think that is something that's going to happen? Because remember, he's the Axeman, or whatever we determined he is.
Yeah,
do you think that it's just going to be a strength thing? Do you think... I kind of hope they don't, because we already have Luke Cage in this world. I kind of like him being an agent that uses an axe occasionally, and he's this character, this kind of weird, on the fringe Marvel character.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't think they're not giving him superpowers now.
I don't know. The way they said the line, I kind of had a feeling that something might be going on.
Yeah, I don't see it. I mean, they've done. I guess they've done things that I haven't agreed with yet this season. So I mean, who knows? But I don't see it. I think we're getting one fallen agent, and that's where they're going to end it. That's as far as they're going to take any twist this year. And then on top of that, we gotta figure out what the cliffhanger is going to be. Because there's going to be a cliffhanger. I mean, last year
has to be.
Was Gemma getting swallowed up?
Yeah, there has to be a big cliffhanger, and we're going to get somebody dying in the first. I'm going to say in the first hour.
Okay.
Because if they do it right at the end and then give us a twist, that would be super strong. But it could be a boring 2 hours leading up to that because everything just resolved. Unless we're going to have the chase for Hive. Okay.
Now, Hive needs to be dead. If they don't kill Hive here, no, they have to kill Hive here.
Yeah, I think they have to kill Hive in this next episode. But I don't know how they're going to do it. Unless it's the fact that he is wounded and it gives them enough to do their thing. And maybe the anger within Daisy is enough to do it.
Maybe.
Maybe she'll ramp up enough and have enough hatred that she just blasts away. Could be. It was cool seeing her fight with her powers.
Yeah, I agree with that. I like that more, but then I'm kind of curious at what her actual power strength is, because like when she was quaking over Mac's heart, like should have been dead.
Was she weakened already at that point though?
No, because she wasn't shot yet. Her blood wasn't taken yet. She took the blood from. I mean, she did just fight a Kree, but I mean, she kind of dispatched the Kree pretty quickly.
Yeah, you know what? We didn't talk about that.
I brought it up that the Kree were there.
Did we?
Yeah.
We didn't talk about how stupid they looked.
That's why I just said the Kree came down, they killed them, and that's it, because they looked terrible.
They looked terrible. That looked like it was,
I mean, so far, like a lot of these
films production of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I mean, we've been disappointed with, and at least I have been with, why am I drawing a blank on his name now? Oh, because you called him Deathstroke, and that's not, Deathlock.
Deathlock.
Yeah. I've been disappointed with how Deathlock looks. I mean, I like the actor. He does a great job.
No, he got better.
He did have an upgrade with this last season.
In the beginning, he looked like he was wearing spray painted football uniform,
which was terrible. I still did not, especially even this last episode, like how Lash looked. Just did not look good.
It looks weird. It looks like a half put on big rubber costume.
Yeah, it looks like Ferrigno's Hulk. I mean, that's kind of how bad it looks.
Almost worse. Almost
yeah,
worse.
You could say that, especially with how much money they have now. Pretty bad. And so and then the Kree looked terrible. I'm just like, all right. I don't know.
The Kree's terrible, and that's not a mark of this show. A lot of the effects and things in this show have been pretty good, and when they aren't good, they've done a pretty good job of masking them. But it was like these Kree were lit up. I'm like, what are it was worse than the Predators in Alien vs. Predator. Remember those big marshmallow Predators? Mm-hmm. It reminded me of that. Like, these are like Smurf versions of that. They were big, bloated, fake-looking. Now, were those two guys from the WWE? Because they kind of had that look, too.
I don't even know. I didn't even look it up. I didn't. At that point, when I saw them, I just stopped caring.
Yeah, that was really bad. I'm glad they took care of them pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Daisy's powers looked cool, and I did like when she was fighting Mac how she kept doing it to his hands, because when he would start to reach up to grab her, she kept hitting his hands to pull him back. Yeah, that was cool. Maybe she just didn't really unload on him because of her humanity.
I don't know.
Even though she was fighting him.
So then why even go for the heart? You know what I mean? Like that's my problem.
That was a little weird.
You know, you're going for the heart and you're gonna tease it? I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
I hope the season ends as good as last season ended.
Yeah, me too.
And that's all I can say. I mean, it has, this season has been really up and down.
Yes.
More so than I think others. And I don't know, the show started off rocky for everybody. I think the first half of season 1, they were trying to find their footing. They didn't know what to do.
Yeah, when it clicked in, it was really good.
Then that second half with Winter Soldier, boom, took off.
Yeah.
Great. Last year,
started out okay, then it went spotty, then it ended great.
Right.
But this season has been
valleyed and then
up
peaked
and down.
Again. Yeah,
and I think it's because they were trying to launch Marvel's Most Wanted. I think they were getting spread a little too thin on that kind of stuff. I mean, it happens on shows all the time. You take half your writers and you put them on a different show trying to get something going. Look at what happened with The Office and Parks and Rec. When they split off and did Parks and Rec, that was the same people.
Yeah.
The Office started to really kind of suck. And really, that first season of Parks and Rec wasn't that great. But they knew that was the future, and they just kind of put all their eggs into that basket then. Office became terrible, and Parks and Rec became amazing. And maybe that was happening here, but they didn't get their footing right. I think you got to have more amazing to start with to pull something like that off.
Yeah, and they didn't start. I mean, like, even though we talk, well, I still enjoy Arrow, but Arrow using, the Flash using Arrow as the spinoff, and then Legends of Tomorrow. I mean, that's kind of how you do it. You got to really build a real big winner. I mean, similar to how we talk about how the Marvel Cinematic Universe does it right. Even though, sometimes there's a Thor the Dark World here, we can still tolerate it because we know it moves the story, and what's going to happen next is going to be crucial. And
I actually like Thor the Dark World. I don't think it's the best, but I like it.
But exactly. I mean, I've seen worse,
right.
But in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it's one of the worst out of the bunch.
Right.
But that's your standard. That's your standard low. It's not that terrible. I don't know. I just think you're right. They try to spread themselves too thin. They jumped on Agent Carter. That became a real big hit that first season. Then the second season kind of petered out.
Yeah.
We were all
they made the crucial mistake of not reaching out to us and letting us control it.
Yes.
That we would have, if they had just said, okay, you guys sit here and tell us what you think, we would have spit all this stuff out and it would have been brilliant.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
You hear that, Marvel? You hear that, ABC? Yeah, I'm sure.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we'd be Marvel's least wanted if that were to happen. Even less than the ones they just dumped. All right. Are we done?
Jokes. I think we're done.
Terrible jokes. That's what they come here for. Terrible jokes.
True.
All right. So I got a couple of bits of business. First of all, I've been blowing up Instagram and getting tons of likes. So I'm going to continue on this Instagram quest. If you want to follow us on Instagram, just look up Nuff Said Podcast, one word. I'm also blowing up Twitter with it, too. And that is Nuff Said. Is it pod or podcast?
I thought it was pod. I don't know.
It's podcast. It's Nuff Said Podcast.
All right.
And then we also have our Facebook page, which is Nuff Said Podcast. See, there's kind of a theme going here. If you want to send us emails, send it to southgatemediagroup@gmail.com. We actually have a Nuff Said one, too, but we never really use that. We use the main Southgate one because it goes right to us. If you want to follow me on Twitter, I'm at rsouthgate. Alil, give your business out there.
I am on Twitter at LOGEEKZ for the League of Geeks podcast. And that's Geeks with a Z. And we are on Facebook, Instagram. We have 2 Instagram pages. One is the League of Geeks Alil, and that's the one I do. The other one is the League of Geeks, and the group does that one. We also have a YouTube page or YouTube channel, the League of Geeks. So just keep following us for more content.
Looking for those geeks. And we have also, and I don't know if you guys have done anything. Oh, you have. We have a Patreon page for Nuff Said podcast. Just go to Patreon, look that up. You can support us. We do it monthly, so it's not by the show. That way, if you want to support us $1 a month, you know what? You're getting shows for, 10 cents each. Is really what it's boiling down to if you want to look at it that way. We really would love your support. It helps pay for equipment. It helps pay for promotional materials and some of the expansion we're trying to do. It also costs time and money to do this kind of stuff, and that helps support us. And League of Geeks also has a Patreon page, correct?
Yes, we do.
So go and look up League of Geeks there. Support us all. That would be awesome. What else? What else haven't we said? You want to support us another way? Of course you do. On our website, southgatemediagroup.com/Nuff Said podcast. In the upper right-hand corner is a link to Amazon. If you are going to shop on Amazon, you're already shopping there anyway, click on that link first. It puts a cookie on your computer for 24 hours, and anything you buy, whether it's signing up for Prime, you're buying, a Captain America shield, you're buying shoes, doesn't matter. We get a small commission as a way of supporting us. Doesn't cost you anything more. If you have Prime already, use your Prime. You still get your free shipping, you still get your discounts, but we get a tiny commission on top of it, which is awesome. We also have Nuff Said t-shirts on the website. We also tweet those out, have them on Instagram and that. Also, there's a link right on our Instagram. The link on Instagram, because you can only put one in there, actually goes to the site where you can buy a Nuff Said t-shirt. So one more way you can support us. I think I'm done with business. I hate having to do all that business stuff. But unless we want to fill this thing up with ads to help support us, we have to do this. So there you go. You got anything else, Lil?
No, I think we got it all.
Man, I've had enough of myself. I'm sure you have too. Let's end this right here. Thanks again for listening, everybody. Safe travels to Jack. We'll let you know when he checks in. Until then, Nuff Said.
Nuff Said.
Ah.